What is up, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market had a great day today. S&P 500 and the Dow Jones went up 0.75%. The Nasdaq went up 0.6%, and the Russell 2000 led the way up over 2.5% on the day. So today we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over 7 stocks to buy now, and I also want to share with you guys what stocks I own right now and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to go down below, get into the Strive Smart Discord chat. We have almost 4,000 people in there, and the Strive Smart Facebook group, and don't forget to also get 2 free stocks from WeBull and $30 from M1 Finance. All of those are free and linked right down below. And if you guys want more content from me, check out the Patreon down below. I'm doing buy and sell alerts, what stocks I'm looking at there, what I'm buying, and I'm also doing, for the top tier patrons, I'm doing a daily morning briefing on stocks I'm looking at in the morning. I make a quick video in the morning there on Patreon, so go check it out. Again, linked right down below. So let's talk. What happened today? Well, the markets hit yet again another all-time high. S&P 500 hit over 3,900 points today for the first time ever, and it went up 0.75% and up almost 30 points on the day, closing above 39.15. And if you guys watch my video yesterday and the morning briefing this morning on Patreon, we talked about how the futures were uptrending. I mean, the futures were nicely green last night, and they were green this morning. And we were talking about how, hey, this 4-hour chart, we see the clear uptrending channel on the S&P 500. We were talking about how 3,900 plus 3,915, that could be where we end up going, and that's exactly what ended up happening. And this is what we've been thinking overall these past couple of days. I mean, honestly, I've mentioned this many times here on the channel. We've been thinking this ever since the S&P was able to break out of 3860, 3870, which was a pretty decent resistance in the middle of January here multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and here in the beginning of February. So ever since we took out 3860, 3870, 3900, low 3900s has been my target here. And I'm not going to lie, guys, each day we go up and higher in the markets, the more overbought we get. And the RSI on the 4-hour chart here is a bit, I don't want to say it's extremely alarming, like, oh my gosh, guys, but it's getting there. It's getting to overbought status, which is anything close to 70. And of course, anything above 70 would be ridiculously overbought. Like, take a look here back in the end of August. I mean, the S&P, the RSI was at about 90. So that gives you a bit of perspective there. So the truth is, we could end up seeing a pullback maybe tomorrow, maybe some point this week on the S&P 500 and the markets in general. So what that could entail is, hey, maybe we go down to mid 3800s. I could see 3860, 3850 hold as support. Maybe we go down to the lower 3800s, right around this 50 SMA on this 4-hour chart, right around 3800, 3820. That could also be a spot. And if I extend this to the right, I mean, take a look at the channel I just extended. 3820 would be the support of the uptrending channel. So that could be where we do end up going. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to also hit that like button. Let's try to get 400 likes. So I challenge you guys, hit that like button, and let's now talk about what I did today. And I ended up locking in some profits. I opened up a position here today as well. And don't forget, Patreon members, patrons, they actually get my real-time buy and sell alerts and reasonings and chart breakdowns behind what I'm doing. And don't forget to check out the Patreon right down below there in the description box. But today I ended up, and you guys know I've been in Square stock. That was one of my main swing trades, right? And we were talking about that here on the channel for a while. I mean, we were watching Square stock dump from 240 and eventually under 200, and this is where we were able to pick up the shares. And you guys remember that. I mean, if you follow my updates, you know that I talk about this stuff pretty much every day. I didn't get the shares under 200, but you guys remember I bought them at 206.50, and I ended up adding more at about 218, and I locked in some profits a little bit. And now I completely exited my position today. I ended up getting out because, quite frankly, we hit well above my target price to sell. I mean, gosh, guys, I locked in some profits at, I think, 222, and I let the rest of my position ride out. And I was telling myself, okay, 240, 245, if it gets there, that's where you got to lock it. But today, with the Bitcoin news, Tesla buying $1.5 billion of Bitcoin for their balance sheet, I mean, this shot up a lot of stocks, Square being one of them, and I sold into the news. And on top of that, I mean, guys, look at this. The RSI, speaking of RSIs off the page, this one is pretty much off the page. The RSI is well above 85, or well above 80, let's say. It's at about 87. So I ended up getting out completely at 259.50, and I ended up opening up a position. And guys, by no means is me getting out of Square, a sign that I'm bearish. I mean, no, I'm bullish, the stock still. But in the short term, I think it could cool off after this, maybe this Bitcoin Tesla hype dies down in the next couple of days. I think we could pull down a bit, and we could end up seeing a re-entry price maybe in the high 230s, low 240s. So that is why I locked in profits. I'm not bearish. I'm just waiting for a pull down. I think the stock is a bit overheated here, and I could be wrong. It could go up even more, and I could have missed out on money. We'll see. Only time will tell, of course. And I ended up opening up a position in bio-nanogenomics. This ended up going up about 5.4% today, and I nibbled a decent chunk of my gold position here in bio-nano today. I bought some at $11.75, so I'm still under the water a bit. I'm down about 10 cents per share, nothing crazy, and the idea with this one is I want to give it some wiggle room. I think overall we're going to break above 12, and we're going to do something similar to what we did with NNDM today. Well, what NNDM did today. And I hope some of you guys caught this. I mean, I missed the move, but if you guys caught this, kudos to you. We actually called it out yesterday and in the morning briefing this morning on Patreon. So yeah, NNDM exploded. That is very interesting. And that is what I think bio-nanogenomics could end up doing as well, up to the mid-12s, high 12s, 13s. So I'm holding on to that one. And in terms of fresh positions, locking in profits, that's all I did today. And of course, I'm still holding on to a couple of other swings that are finally panning out. Take a look here. AMD, I told you guys, patience is a virtue. Patience is key. AMD went up over 4% today. This is one that I've been holding for a couple days now, since 87.25 is my cost basis. I bought it here on the dip, and ultimately I think AMD is going $95 plus. So I didn't sell anything. I'm just actually holding on to my position that I have, and I'm holding on tight. I could have locked in some profits today, but since I made such a nice, handsome gain on Square, I'm just going to hold my AMD a little bit, let it ride a little bit. And Neo, I'm also still in that one. Neo went up 4% today, and it's finally breaking out of this wedge, or rather this descending triangle. You guys can see it went up 4% today, broke out of there. This is a good sign, but we're not out of the woods yet. I think we will be out of the woods after $60 breaks. I think that's a big resistance, so watch out for that tomorrow and the rest of this week on Neo. I for sure am, and I'm still holding on to my shares, which I'm in at about 57.25, added more at 55.35, and I'm holding on to my average cost of about 56-ish, right around there, 56.50. So Neo, I'm still in. Workhorse, I am also still in this one, ticker symbol WKHS. This didn't do much today. It ended up going down about 2%. Holding on to my my position from 22 bucks, locked in more at 29. You guys know I locked in even more at 42 a couple days ago, so I'm holding on to the rest of that. And SLV, gosh, guys, it is going up, man. It went up almost 2% today. SLV being a silver ETF. This is one that I've also been buying. I bought more after it sold off, after that whole Wall Street bets frenzy where it went up to almost 30 bucks. It collapsed to about 24. I added more. What was it at? 24.45. So I'm up a decent amount on that position. And you guys know I was holding shares even before the Wall Street bets frenzy at about $23. And I've been holding those shares for weeks at this point. And Tattooed Chef and SBE are my other two holdings. Tattooed Chef went down 2% today, so not too great of a day for them. But SBE on the flip side went up about 1%, and earlier in the day, they were showing some signs of life. It went up to $43. It closed under 41, so we'll see what happens tomorrow with SBE, if it's able to get back up to the mid-40 level. So that's what I'm doing. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are up to. Hit the like button if you all are enjoying, and don't forget to check out that Patreon if you guys are interested in the real-time buy and sells. That's linked down below. So we have 7 stocks here, and if you guys stick till the end of the video, we're going to be talking about some bonus ones. And stock number 1 is BLNK Energy. We saw SBE go up about 1% today, a little bit under that, more like 0.7%. I'm kind of exaggerating that there a bit, but we saw that happen, and BLNK Energy did even better. I mean, a lot better at one point in time. Well, it actually closed down 2%, but earlier in the day, if you guys remember, BLNK Energy was at $58, so it was actually up about 5%, 6% at one point, and then it ended up selling off the entire day. It actually lost about 10% value in the middle, or shall I say intraday, from 58 to 52. That's a 10% drop. So I'm actually looking at this drop as a window of buying opportunity. And what I'm seeing here is, and I've been mentioning this, I've mentioned it before, and it's not fully played out yet. In fact, we're still in the beginning stages. I've mentioned this inverse head and shoulder on BLNK many times, a couple times recently, and we can see it here clearly on the hourly chart. We have the left shoulder, which played out from about $64 to about $49, this general area. That's the left shoulder. We have the head right here. It peaked, or rather, shall I say, it bottomed at about $44. And the right shoulder, what we're seeing right here, obviously, is still in effect. It's still forming. And for it to complete, you guessed it, the right shoulder would have to meet the left shoulder, the base of the left shoulder, inverse shoulder, which in this case is at about 63, 64 bucks. So for this move to complete, you can clearly see it's got to go to 62, 64 dollars, and we're chilling at $52 now at a higher low. We saw a big spike up today, showing us that momentum is there. We saw a pullback, maybe some weak hands getting shaken out, some profit taking, and overall we're holding the uptrend, right? Like I said, at about 52 bucks, right around these moving averages on the hourly chart. So how could this play out? We could bounce mid-50s, take out the high from today, and boom, we could be low 60s in the snap of a finger in no time. This stock is that type of stock. Granted, a lot of these EVs are like that. They can move like crazy, and I think this could move like crazy as well. It could even happen this week. So, BLNK Energy, worth watching. It's got a lot of upside from 52 up to about 64, 65. That's about 10, 12, 16%, 15% upside, on the higher end. So watch out for BLNK. DraftKings is another one. Finally, it's pulling back a bit. And for me, honestly, I would love to see it pull down even further. And hopefully this is the start of another leg down, which could get us to the 58 level, maybe 60 bucks. And hopefully you guys aren't in it because, I'm hoping the stock goes down. And obviously if you're in it, you'll lose money. But, let's say if we're looking at this and we're not in it, what we would like to see, let's be honest, guys, is a move down a bit further. This still kind of looks like a falling knife on the 4-hour, so a move down to the 50 SMA on this 4-hour, right around 58 bucks, 57. That is where we could end up getting in on a nice dip buy on DraftKings right around here. Let me show you with the circle tool. And from there, we could end up playing it back up to the high, I don't want to say high 60s yet, but definitely low 60s, maybe mid 60s. And you can see, although it's not as clean as the Blink head and shoulder, or shall I say inverse head and shoulder, this was also an inverse head and shoulder. Left shoulder, the head right here, the right shoulder, and then we actually broke out, filled the gap pretty much, which we did call out here on the channel, guys. If you all remember that, let me know in the comments. We did call out this DraftKings breakout, and now we're trying to get in on this pullback, and we'll see how it goes. Again, $58, that could be a dip buy on DraftKings, and Penn is also pulling back. Finally, it's down about 5-6% today. It hit an all-time high. Was that on Friday? Nope, that was today pre-market. All-time high at $134.24. And we went down, like I said, 6% today. And we're down overall. Let's take a look here. We're down even more than that when it comes to the price we closed at compared to the all-time high. We're down about 9%. So this could be a decent dip buy as well into momentum. But like I said with DraftKings, I would also like to see a further pull down on Penn, probably down to the lower hundreds. I'm personally looking here at about $108 to about $112, this general area. I think this could be a nice dip buy right around this 4-hour 50 SMA. And if we collapsed under 110, consider that a blessing, guys. You know, if we get down to maybe $95, that could also be a decent spot right around the 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart. So it depends on where we find support, where we consolidate. As of now, we haven't really, we did consolidate today and close on an upswing, but we don't know for sure if this is the bottom yet, so we have to be careful. Same with DraftKings, but overall, both of these, as they're pulling back, selling off, I think they offer some pretty decent opportunities. So that's DraftKings and Penn, both in the same type of, industry there. And we have Netflix. Netflix is, moving steadily these past couple of days. Very slow, but steady. It actually hit a bottom of about $520. Now it's trading at $547 after a couple of days. It's been about 7 trading days of, little higher highs, little higher lows. You can see the uptrend has been intact. And now we're approaching a resistance at $560. You can see it here on the 4-hour chart even better. 560 is arguably, it's not even arguable in my opinion, it is the biggest resistance on this 4-hour chart for Netflix. It was a resistance back in July, back in September, and back in the middle of October. And notice, each time we hit this point, it was like clockwork, guys. It was like clockwork. We got rejected, and we sold all the way down to the high 460s, low 470s. It's crazy. It's literally 560 on the dot for the most part. We got hit, and we collapsed there 3 times in a row. And now we finally broke out of it. We took 560 out recently, earlier in, actually it was in the middle, towards the end of January. We took 560 out, hit 590, and then we saw a big pull down from 590 to about 520. That was a 12% pull down, and we held the higher low on the 180 SMA. You can see that right here. Held it nicely. 520, and we ripped up. We broke over 540, 545, and that's where we are right now. We're actually hanging out between 540 as support and 560 as resistance. So for me to play Netflix, you guessed it, it has to break above 560. I would love to see a break 560, 565. Then from there, we could catch momentum up to 590. That could be about a 5-6% move there. So watch out for Netflix at 560. This is huge. And the next stock here is Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. This is one I actually made a video on earlier. I'll link it down below in the description box. Make sure to go check it out. After this, I talk about, what happened with Tesla more in depth, and I show you guys how much Bitcoin I own. But to sum it up, Tesla, they got some Bitcoin. They got some Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They bought 1.5 billion of Bitcoin. And when 2020 ended, the end of the year, they had $19 billion in cash and cash equivalents. So $1.5 billion of that is roughly 8 to 9% of their 2019 or 2020, end of 2020, cash numbers, which is ridiculous. That's more than I thought they would buy in Bitcoin. And we kind of knew eventually they were going to buy some Bitcoin. And now it seems like this could be the start of other big companies doing this exact thing, which could be great for Bitcoin. And again, go check out my earlier video down below in the description box. We talk more about Tesla, Bitcoin, and I actually reveal you guys how much Bitcoin I own right now. I take you guys into my account. So go check that out, link down below. And when it comes to Tesla stock here, I mean, you could argue that, well, it's not arguable. We are in an uptrend channel on the 4-hour chart here. But what is arguable is we're seeing an inverse head and shoulder. And I didn't point this out yesterday and earlier on the Patreon, but I'll point it out right here. This is kind of what I'm seeing. Left shoulder, we have the head right here. The right shoulder could be forming here. So what that means is we could end up seeing Tesla, and this I did mention this morning on Patreon. We could see Tesla maybe go 870 to maybe 900, 915. That could give it a nice maybe 5-6% upside from where it is right now. And the next one you see right here is ticker symbol MARA. Yet again, another Bitcoin play. This is Marathon Patent Group, and this is actually a cryptocurrency mining play, Bitcoin mining play, and this went up over 42% today. If you guys remember my video yesterday, literally under 24 hours ago, I made that video. We were looking at Mara at under 25 bucks. I was telling you guys how if Bitcoin breaks out, and little did I know it was going to break out today, but I said if Bitcoin breaks out, we could see a high here in the Marathon Patent Group in this mining play, especially as we saw big resistance at 25, an ascending triangle, forming as well, which is a bullish pattern. And little did I know that was going to happen today. And went up 42%. We hit an all-time high. And will I chase this now? No, I wouldn't. But if we were to get a pullback, maybe down to 28, lower 20, not even lower 20s, probably mid 20s, low 30s, although we are at low 30s now. I'd probably wait for mid 20s, low 20s. If we were to get that, that could be a dip buy, but overall at these levels, I wouldn't chase it. But shout out to you if you guys did watch my video a couple weeks ago. You got into Mara, you held it up until now. That would have been amazing. You made a ton of money. And unfortunately for me, I actually got into Mara, that day I made that video. If you guys remember, we covered it when it was at about $16. I was in at $16, $17. So if I just held, if I were to ride out the wave instead of taking a quick profit, I would have doubled my money. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hindsight's 2020. You never know what's gonna happen. But overall, if you guys made some money, hey, I'm happy about that. And the next one here is Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. They reported earnings recently. The earnings were not the best. I mean, they weren't that bad either. I feel like the stock is being a bit, oversold, and it's kind of a bit of an overreaction to the earnings. The stock's down about 14% from 167. Now it's down to 147, and you can see clearly based on this 4-hour, although we haven't confirmed the bottom and ripped back up yet, this is a spot where we could do exactly that. We could do just that. I mean, take a look. The uptrend is set to continue here. We've seen higher lows here in the past many times, so this could be it. 147. I would like to maybe get in at 150 as it kind of consolidated, recovered a bit over 150. I think that could be the confirming spot to get in, so watch out for Qualcomm. No doubt about it. In my mind, this is a pretty solid play, and if you guys stuck till the end, you get 2 bonus ones. Let me know in the comments if you did stick till the end. I really appreciate you all. The bonus one, number 1, is Chegg, ticker symbol CHGG. CHGG, and I'm not going to lie, I peeked a little bit earlier. Their stock is exploding because of earnings. You can see here it went up to 111. It broke out of the resistance we talked about yesterday. That resistance being $102, $103, right around there. We exploded right out of it. We hit a high of $111. Now we're hovering at about $106. So this is great. This means we broke a resistance. The momentum is continuing to the upside. And on the back of solid earnings, which you can see here, EPS came in 55 cents versus 49 cents. Estimated that beat. And revenue came in at $205.7 million versus $189.55 million. You know, with those numbers, they beat. We have to see what guidance looks like, but overall, you know, the basic metrics are nice. This could be a continuation play. Who knows? We could keep going higher above the hundreds here. We have to see how things play out. And the last bonus one here is Beyond Meat, which hit 230 after that Pepsi deal announcement, and now it's back down to 170. It's in a bear market. It's down almost 30%. And you can see it's been consolidating nicely above 165. Again, it closed at 169 today. And 165 was resistance back in June, also back in the beginning of November, and in the beginning of October. So I think if 165, 170 could hold, we start ripping back up mid-170s. I think Beyond Meat has some ground to cover. Let's be honest. I think it could get back to the 180s, 190s, $200 plus level. I think that is where this stock is going. So yeah, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's try to get 400 likes on this video. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel and get some free money down below. You can get 2 free stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600 by simply depositing $100 using my link, and you could also get $30 from M1 Finance by also using my link, opening up an account, and putting any amount of money in there. And if you guys want exclusive content, buy, sell alerts, morning briefings, updates, and a bunch of other awesome perks, check out the Patreon. That is also linked right down below, and I do appreciate you guys. If you do sign up on Patreon, that is awesome. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, peace out and have a great day. Keep crushing the markets. I'll see you guys next video.